Hi everybody, welcome to the Money Man, Money Boy Show and Shakes Show. Pretty much we could call it that now, hey Shakes? I feel like I've played in the Premier League. I feel exhausted. Eh? These videos are just unrelenting. Games every day. And if it wouldn't be so bad if there were fans in the stadium. Yeah. But there's not, and it just gets a bit monotonous. But a couple games this weekend I want to talk about. Liverpool versus... No, just kidding. West Ham versus Chelsea. Big game, eh?
Massive. Massive game this weekend. I mean, it's basically the battle for top four, without a shadow of a doubt. I'm really looking forward to this game because I think West Ham have coped with the pressure that has come with having to battle for the top four. West Ham as well have shown really an improvement in terms of the way they play. I think Jesse Lingard's also come in and done wonders. And also Chelsea will be reeling at the fact that they missed out on a huge opportunity by drawing with Brighton in a game that I felt...
They didn't get one corner in that game.
Yeah. Look, and they were lucky to draw because Danny Welbeck hit the post and it was Adam Lallana could have also scored as well. They were really hanging on without a shadow of a doubt. And I think if West Ham gets past Chelsea, if they get 3 points versus Chelsea, then I'm seriously going to take notice of them. Because in my books, I still would say Liverpool are favourites above them and Chelsea are favourites definitely and Leicester favorites. But if they get past Chelsea, they have to be taken seriously.
33 matches in, Shakes is taking notice of them. now they've done enough.
Ollie just bitch slapped you, Shakes. So Ollie makes the point that you've taken note now after 33 games. I think, at what stage do we say? I mean, it's the bet of the weekend for me. 4.46 for a West Ham win against a team that played in the FA Cup, and that was a big game for them. They struggled against Brighton. At what stage do we say, okay, West Ham are in fourth right now? Okay, they're a legitimate fourth. It's kind of like the conversations people were having about Leicester when they hadn't won the Premier League yet. That they were first, and people were like, well, if they get past this game, and we're 30 odd games into the season, West Ham at 4.46 is a great value bet.
Wouldn't it be funny if West Ham pipped Chelsea? Just given.
Well,
look at the squads. Look at the expenditure in the transfers.
And the money they spent.
Yeah.
No, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, to me, they've been the biggest disappointment, but other than Liverpool, with what they spent. Liverpool, for me, are less of a disappointment because of the injuries that collapsed that team. So, I'm not saying that West Ham are going to win. I'm just saying whenever you can get almost 5 times your stake, or 4.46 times your stake to win at home when you're in fourth place and you've been in good form. The only sidebar to that for me is Newcastle, the 3-2 loss to Newcastle.
Honestly, I think if I look at the odds and I look at the bets, I think one bet that will definitely happen in this game is both teams scoring. And I think 1.92 for both teams to score is actually not so bad to add on to a bet slip, a multi-bet slip if possible. But I think both teams definitely score. And if West Ham, they have to beat the big boys, man. They really have to. Not what is it, Leicester and Wolves, quick wins, no doubt. But they have to beat Chelsea. And then once they beat Chelsea, I'll say, okay, I'm taking notice. I'm taking my pads out after 33 games.
Well, look, they don't have a bad record against Chelsea. They've won 2, lost 2 and drawn 2 in the last 6 games. So it's pretty evenly stacked between the two sides.
Look, it's a London derby.
Yeah.
Derbies are difficult. There's more pressure on Chelsea than West Ham, for sure. West Ham at home. I think both teams would be happy with a point in this game. That's the only, But again, at 4.46, can't say it enough. It's the value bet of the weekend.
Jesse Lingard's score.
Well, my bet is going to be a 500 on West Ham. But yeah, I like it, and I'll certainly tune into that game. Who's going to win that game, Shakes? Give me a score prediction.
Score prediction, 2-1 to Chelsea. Sorry, West Ham.
It's okay.
I'm calling 1-1.
Yeah, I'm going to call it 2-all, which people that are watching me for the first time saying, well, you just told me that it's the value bet. It is the value bet from a return on investment, but I think it's going to be a draw. But I'm still betting on a West Ham win. And if you can figure that out, then you have been following me for a while.
For sure.
Huh?
No, for sure. I'm just saying that's the one thing about the Money Man shows. You say you sometimes find yourself saying one thing and then you're like, but to put money on it, I'm gonna go this way.
Well, it's like I say, if you've got one coin, and you know, though, if you know that the say you can get $1.05 for calling heads, but you're only going to get $1 for calling tails, but you got to put $1 down to win. You always put your dollar down on the side that's going to give you a bigger return. And that bet for me is wrong. It shouldn't be as high as 4.46. So when bookies make mistakes, you've got to bet them. And if you bet enough of them over a certain amount of period of time, you'll make your money and more. It's when you change your strategy and philosophy and all that stuff and don't take advantage of mistakes and overpriced markets, you'll continue to lose. So, what do I know? The next game that's caught my interest is Leeds United, my beloved team, versus Manchester United. One of those bastard breakaway Super League teams that tried to mess up the Premier League.
Yep, definitely they did. They did try to ruin it. But I must say, this game is very interesting to look at in the sense that it's two teams that, I mean, Leicester have been really strong recently. I mean, they don't concede as much as they used to. I don't know if anyone is seeing that.
They've lost their last 2 games.
Yeah, I'm saying they're not conceding like what they used to.
Who are you saying, Leeds or Leicester?
Oh, Leeds.
Leeds is not. Leeds used to concede like.
Look, they're sitting at 50-50, goals for and goals against.
Oh, you know, the other thing we forgot to mention, Shakes, about Chelsea, West Ham, is that next week Chelsea have Real Madrid, which will be top of their mind, I imagine, to try and retain a strong side for that game. So that makes the 4.46 even more palatable. For those that don't know what that means, get a dictionary.
Yeah, no, for sure. Chelsea will definitely have their mind on Real Madrid, but top 4, they need top 4, and they definitely need top 4 for sure. And I think they'll be taking the game seriously. But as for Leeds, I'm very impressed with how Leeds have been playing. I think they're going to give Manchester United quite a game, and the fact that both teams haven't lost any of their last 5 games is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Man United took them apart in the game at Old Trafford. I mean, it was embarrassing being a Leeds fan for that. I mean, I think before 20 minutes it was 4-0 or it was ridiculous. Yeah. I can't remember what the final score was. I think we went on to lose 6-2 or 6-3 or something.
So, yeah, 6-2.
Yeah, 6-2.
Yeah, so, you know, obviously you mentioned that Leeds have tightened up at the back. You know, again, that probably comes with a season that's gone well, developing. But Bielsa does not lay up and it does not rest. I mean, his plan and how he approached the Man City game, for me, I would say if he's my Premier League manager of the year.
Yeah, well, I mean, Leeds are sitting on 10th. They've sort of like managed to kind of retain 10th most of the season. You look at the teams they're sitting ahead of: Aston Villa, Wolves, Crystal Palace. You know, granted they haven't had fantastic seasons, but they're still Premier League regulars, you know, that we're talking about in like sort of top 8 contention at the start of the season. Leeds is sitting, you know, a couple of points above them, same points as Arsenal. It really has been for a team that was going to be fighting relegation supposedly in their first season up, you know.
And especially in a year where it's been there's been such parity in the league, you know. Everybody's beating everybody. So it, you know, with the exception of the bottom dweller Sheffield, you know, you could have teams that are relegated with 38 points this year.
Mm.
So for me, Leeds have been fantastic. They're not coasting. You know, they didn't get to the finish line, which they clearly are now with the amount of points that they have. They go out and with 10 men beat Man City, and then last week draw with Liverpool.
Yeah.
So you know, it is something. And I am a Leeds fan.
Second season Leeds will be interesting, though. You know, just to see how they sort of build on this.
Depends on what money's available and who they buy. But you know, I can't wait to talk about a Premier League preseason this year because we've got Leeds in it. But if you had to bet on the game, Shakes, where's your money going?
Okay, so if I had to bet on this game, I would probably have to say, I think 2-1 to Manchester United. I don't like saying it, Kevin. I'll be honest. I almost went to draw, but I think they're going to have a little bit too much quality for Leeds United. And I think a for sure bet within this game that I really feel is going to happen, I would probably say Edison Cavani to score with the odds at 2.26. He's been on great scoring run in the past couple of games, and I think he's going to get another one in this game.
Yeah, I think I agree with Shakes 2-1 to United. I just think that Leeds could be caught on the counter. United have some very quick forwards, good at finishing. I think they could just get sucked in, pop that ball sort of route one over the top. But I don't think it'll be a blow-away like that first game.
No, it'll be interesting to see how Bielsa adjusts to that. You know, they played a pretty dogged sort of attack-based style this year, and they were torn apart by Man United.
Yeah.
You know, the game was over before 15 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see how they're going to soak up any pressure here, and because they are playing a little bit tighter.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that there's going to be more than 3.5 goals. What are the odds on that, Shakes?
More than 3.5 goals for Manchester United, and okay, so the odds on that is, wait, I'm at 1x2. Sorry about that. That's 2.33 over 3.5 goals.
No, it's not attractive enough for me actually. I'm gonna go with a 4-1 draw. Go with a 1-1 draw.
Very likely.
What is it like? That's the correct score?
No, I'm not. It's not a correct score, but I'm gonna put 500 down at 3.98. I think that will return 1,992 red.
Okay, I mean, no, not bad odds at all. I think for me, as Edison Cavani to score, I have a very good feeling it's going to happen.
You've had a lot of feelings this year, and we need to. I never want to suppress those feelings.
Yep, I did have a lot of feelings, and a lot has happened. And unfortunately, some of the feelings haven't come true, but some have come true.
Well, I think I'm taking the piss, Shakes, because as many feelings as it hasn't come true for you have not come true for me and a lot of supporters and bettors this year in the Premier League. It's been one of the most difficult minefields to navigate that any punter could ever have betting on the Premier League this year. The results that we've seen, and at the end of the season, we'll do a wrap and a parody thing where we make some of our predictions and just how badly we got it wrong. You know?
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I think also what would be great maybe towards the end of the season. I heard you guys talking about Bielsa being manager of the season.
So, Shakes, I know where you're going with this, and I know you want to give it to Arteta. Touche. But we have to be rational now, eh? And no, I know you want to give it. I know you want to do the obvious thing and give it to Pep. Because he may well. Who do you? Sorry, I shouldn't. Who do you think, Shakes? Who's your manager of the year so far?
Look, so far it has to be David Moyes, without a doubt. How he's grown the team from last season where they were to this season, battling top four. I think if he makes top four, I don't care what Pep and City do. He's my manager of the season. If they don't make top four, then they're probably gonna go with. Then I would go with Pep because of how City have played. But if West Ham make top four, I don't care what City do.
Yeah, you can see. You make a good point. Yeah, he certainly should be in the running. Yeah, you're right. If West Ham make top four, he should be manager of the year. I can't argue with logic. So who you guys we predicted the Man U game, right?
The Man U game, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So who would your manager of the year be?
Well, I mean, I've got to. We'll probably get a lot of stick for this, but at the end of the day, if you end 10 points clear of the next best team in a season that was characterized by COVID, I think the winner of the Premier League should be manager of the season. I think if Pep's come out in a team that was in a year that was characterized by inconsistency and has been consistent, has dropped 4 games in the 33 that they've played so far. You can't argue against just the statistics and the success of his team. So based on that, for me, manager of the season. But I think if definitely look to David Moyes if it's a case of who's done the most with the resources that they have.
Well, I think that's part and parcel of the whole analysis of an award, is weighing all these things. Because Man City are going to win the league. It may well be that they win the Champions League and the Carabao Cup. But look at the resources he has. Plus, they're a Super League team that tried to. They were never a Super League team until 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But and with Arabian money, they're now a Super League team.
Where I want to give Pep credit is, I mean, you get the sense that in his tenure at Man City, he's created a sense of culture that did lack in that team before. With the players that he's brought in, you do get the sense that the players are playing more for a team and a badge than they ever were before, when they were playing for a big sort of payday. You look at Sergio Aguero, is going to end now a decade at Man City. There's been a lot of foreign players that have come in 1 or 2 years, big paycheck, and left. Get that kind of loyalty from a player of that quality. De Bruyne is recommitted for the next 4 years, I think.
Yeah.
So you get the sense that Pep has built a culture, he's built a style, he's sort of like stamped an identity on that team. So I think
No, and where he is where he's really good is a lot of people that rising superstar now with Man City.
Phil Foden.
Yeah.
Through the ranks.
The way that he manages him. And the way that player has developed, obviously through the training ground, through Pep's interpersonal skills and the way that they build up. Pep clearly has some strong interpersonal skills. And like Klopp does.
Yeah.
And to see the transformation in some of these young stars, like Foden, is just incredible.
For sure. Klopp less charismatic this past season, but
yeah, look, it's been a strange and unusual year, But his mum did die. He had a boat full of injuries.
Yeah.
And when you looked at I haven't done the stats on it, but if you look at the players lost, the games lost by players being injured, I would say that Liverpool are by far and away the unluckiest team in the league this year. And I said at the beginning of the year that Liverpool loses 1 or 2, they don't have the squad for it.
No. For sure.
And they didn't lose 1 or 2; they lost 8 or 9. It was they had to go and replace their physio with somebody that could heal people quicker. It was a strange year for Liverpool. Are you guys betting on the Leeds Liverpool game?
The Leeds United game.
Yeah, sorry.
I think I might have a look at the corners, check out the corner statistics for the two sides, and maybe place a bet on that. And then I'm thinking potentially a double chance West Ham for the Chelsea game.
Okay.
But like you've always advised, sort of right before the match, make those predictions because guys pull out. You looked at that Bayern Munich game.
Yeah.
I put big money down on Bayern, and then Lewandowski and Gnabry out. Another guy injured during the game. Yeah. So we'll see prior to the game, but I think we'll start winning a few bets.
This is why you've got to. It's why it's tough to tip, because I do change my bets. If I, the only time I ever broke a bone in sport was when I was playing social volleyball. I tripped over a volleyball and broke it. Things happen on the train, on the warm up, and this, and Guys get into car crashes, accidents, get going to the stadium.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. And when a lot of young people don't put much stock into that because they've never experienced it. But believe me, once you've experienced,
Good day of volleyball.
well, no, I remember once trying to teach a sales guy. I said, close the deal today. And he said, no, on Monday. I said, the guy might be fucking dead on Monday. These things happen. And the reason I said it was because it happened to me.
Yeah.
Things happen, and things can happen and change the dynamics and the betting, like it did on that Bayern Munich game, where we'd done a video on me tipping
Bayern outright,
Bayern outright, and then 10 minutes before kickoff, Canarby was out with COVID. And there goes 11 goals, which 11 goals taking out of a side that's missing Lewandowski, and to me it just changed the whole betting proposition.
Yeah.
So that's why if you want to be successful in sports betting, you've got to put in the time.
Yeah.
And you don't let it ride and go, oh fuck it, what does that mean? Because every
Yeah. Are you saying that if you want to be successful in betting, you place the bet right now?
No, I'm saying that if you want to be successful in betting, you've got to, one, know when you see a value bet. You've got to two, make a bet with the most information that you can. That's what when we do a tipping show, it doesn't mean that that's my tip for sure, and it's not going to change. I change my bets all the time based on the information that I have before I make a bet. I won't make a bet on any of these games now and lock it in. I'll wait an hour before kickoff and because there's lots of RS feeds that come through on injuries. The teams have their own websites with updates. So if you really want to get to the next level in betting, I've got 35 subscriptions to various stats and things across many leagues, and I'm constantly reading, and so I'm just saying that when I'll make any of these bets, it'll be on an hour, 30 minutes before game kicks off.
Yeah.
But if I want to give a tip to the people that follow me, I'll try and get it done and do the research before then, as much as I can.
Completely.
Yeah.
Well, good luck for this weekend in betting.
Yeah, just quickly before we go, guys. Mourinho, did he deserve to get fired? Yes or no?
I thought they would have given him at least that sort of cup final on the Saturday, but
yeah.
So Harry Kane said, "Good working under you, boss." Gave him a nice little send off. I don't know. It seems weird to sack him now.
Yeah.
Strange sort of call. There's 5 games left of the season. I think surely just ride it out.
Yeah.
I just don't think Mourinho was ever the right fit for Spurs in the first place.
Correct.
Stylistically, you know what I mean. Harry Kane had a brilliant season under him. Son fired, but they fired on days where Mourinho's plan was suited, and they didn't a lot of the time. And I just think that he didn't really so much fit the team ethos and culture of Spurs and the style of football that, fans are accustomed to so much. So I think from the beginning it was a little bit of an interesting. So figured he would get sacked somewhere down the line. Don't necessarily agree with him getting sacked just before, I think, the 32nd match day of the Premier League.
Yeah, it was to me it was a strange timing of it. I'm sure that they've got their reasons.
I couldn't agree more with what Oliver said. I think Oliver's right. I was also surprised at the timing that he did go. I think he at least give him the chance to compete in the final of the Carabao Cup, and then if he doesn't win it, then you guys can sack him. There were 5 points off the top 4 at the time. And I think another thing that people don't remember is that Jose Mourinho at Tottenham actually beat Manchester City twice.
Yeah.
He's beaten Pep twice at the time that he's been there. And for me, I just think if we want a manager in a once-off game to win that game, and a club that hasn't won a trophy since 2008, I think, then, why? So I think they should have at least given him a chance. I think at the end of the season, he probably could have gone because it was getting toxic. But, I was surprised at the timing as well. Apparently, the rumor was, which they are denying, is that they let him go because he didn't agree with Tottenham joining the European Super League. And that's why the timing of the sacking.
Okay. That would make sense because
endearing,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, for a team like Tottenham, who are in a very precarious situation with Kane, do they? Don't they sell him? Kane's, unfortunately for Kane, he's got a long time left on his contract, and Tottenham, no owner tells people that people are available that you don't want to sell. But I've got a feeling Tottenham do want to sell Harry Kane and try and get the most money they can, because they don't really have the funds to fund any new players coming in without selling Harry Kane.
Yeah.
So they're in a difficult position. So I think they're the team that's probably the most disappointed by this Super League thing crumbling before their eyes.
No, I definitely agree. In terms of they're probably very disappointed. But yeah, good luck to them. They got the win against Southampton.
But would you want to be in a club that Tottenham founded? Or a founding member?
Not a chance.
Or Arsenal, for that matter?
Arsenal all day. As for Spurs, I would rather be at where's Portsmouth right now than League Two or something, League One. I'd rather be at Portsmouth than Tottenham.
I'm not a. It was an interesting week. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming in. Let's hope that whatever we bet this week comes off, and best of luck to the punters out there, guys. Good luck.
Thanks, Kev.
Cheers.